Here she is, Miss Country Soul, Jeannie Seeley.
Jeannie? Hi, Paul. How are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you, Jeannie?
I'm doing great for a rainy day in Nashville.
Oh, no. It's raining down in Music City. So, all right. I really appreciate you coming on my program here tonight. We've been waiting for you for a while now to hear your voice here, and it's just so great.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry. I had a little family emergency come up the last time we scheduled this, but I knew if we kept trying, sooner or later we'd get together on it.
Oh, I know. No worries at all. I know you're a real busy lady, and once again, I want to thank you for finding the time to come here.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know, let's get started, I guess. So, I guess I'll first ask you, how'd you get your start in the music business?
Well, actually, professionally, I got started in Los Angeles as a songwriter first. Of course, I grew up in northwestern Pennsylvania, and I sang all through my school years and all that, but and did some radio there, but there was no music industry in that area. When I got out of school, I worked a couple of years and then moved to L.A. And when I got out there, I found that a lot of people were writing songs and singing for a living. So I just started kind of hanging out where all the songwriters did and met some others, which led to a songwriting deal with Four Star Music. And as I cut the demos on the songs we wrote, and one day Joe Johnson came in and said, I pitched your song the other day, and the producers all said, why don't you record it with the girl singing it? So that's how I got my first record deal.
And Hank Cochran and Dottie West encouraged you to come to Nashville, right?
They did, very much so. I got a spot on the television show in Los Angeles, and both Hank and Dottie had come out from Nashville at different times to do this show, and I got to know them, and they both encouraged me to move to Nashville. Hank, in fact, had me come back and cut some demos, and he just finally said, until you get serious and about it enough to move to Nashville, there's nothing I can do. So I knew that I probably had to make the move, but it was like I told Dottie West, I said, I don't think I know enough about the business to move to Nashville yet. And she said, well, that's where you learn. And I guess you've been down here enough to know that, haven't you?
Oh, sure. Music City is the best place in the world, and it's so great to get to come down there and visit with all of you at the Opry, the Legends, and to just learn from you guys and see you perform.
I don't think we ever get through learning either. I'll tell you, I just came back Saturday night in time to do the second show at the Opry. I went down for Dolly's tribute show to Porter Wagner, and you probably heard that she has designated a portion of her museum for Porter.
Yes.
And for Don Warden, and it's done so nice. The show was absolutely wonderful. But you can't watch Dolly or a pro like Dolly and not learn something from them. Every time I'm around her, as some of the others, like some of the new ones, I learn from the new artists coming in.
Oh, you do?
Absolutely, I do. They have a fresh way of delivering songs, and I'm fascinated. That's what's so wonderful about our business. It keeps evolving, and you never stop learning.
No, I guess that's the great thing about music. There is never... you can't know it all.
Once you get one thing learned, Paul, they change it.
That's true. That's true. Speaking of Porter Wagner, when you first came to Nashville, he put you up on his television show, right, as his singer?
Well, actually, I did some guest appearances on his television show, but I wasn't put on there as a regular. At that time, Norma Jean was still doing the television show, but she wanted some time off to spend more time with her daughter before her daughter started school.
Sure.
And so he hired me to work the road days. the problem was that a lot of the promoters and all didn't know me. So, you know, they were reluctant to do that, and it ended up Norma Jean and I were both on quite a few of the shows together.
Oh.
And that caused quite a stir at the time because everybody said, oh, there's no bus big enough for two, quote, girl singers, you know, that old adage, and which was so crazy because Norma and I were friends and got to be closer friends with the time we spent together. We enjoyed it.
Oh, sure. And so soon after you came to Nashville, you were offered a recording contract by Monument Records, right?
Right. And when Hank wrote the song "Don't Touch Me," we knew that was the song we had been looking for, but I had no idea that it would happen as fast as it did. And Porter was really kind of upset at the time, too, because he had just reorganized his whole show, putting me in it. And then a few months later, I get a hit record, and Don't Touch Me moved up the charts so fast, and there were so many opportunities for me to do things on my own that it did not make sense, you know, not to go take advantage of them.
And Don't Touch Me is such a fantastic song, and the way you deliver that song is so haunting and so melodious. It's just still a thrill to listen to it today, the recording, and to hear you sing it live in the present time.
Well, I thank you, Paul. I think, you know, sometimes they say ignorance is bliss, and because I didn't know really what I was doing, it was so new, I ended up with a fresh sound, a fresh style.
Henceforth.
Because I hadn't had a chance to be influenced.
Henceforth.
And to be told, no, you can't do that, you know.
Yeah, sure. So. Therefore, you got the title Miss Country Soul for all the soul you got put in, that you put into your music. And, well, Don't Touch Me was such a great hit that on March 2nd, 1967, the National Academy of Recording Arts and Sciences honored you with the Grammy for Best Performance on a Country Record, right?
Yes, they did, and you might find this interesting. I mean, all you and all of the fans and all watched the Grammy Awards, you know, and the big production and the television coverage worldwide. And when I won my Grammy Award, it was at the National Guard Armory with paper tablecloths. We have come a long way, baby.
Oh, sure.
But I was only the third female in country music, you know, to win a Grammy. They were so new, a lot of people really didn't even understand what they were. Because in the beginning, the Academy did not recognize country music as being important enough, and then they finally started giving a Grammy for a country record, and then finally in '64 they gave an award for the male and one for female, and Dottie West won female that year. The next year was Jody Miller with Queen of the House, and then I was the next year.
1966 or 67, right?
Yeah, it was pretty exciting. I think one thing that makes the Grammy Award very special to me, and I think it has to all the artists, the significance of that award, is that you're voted on by your peers. And that's a tough audience to please.
Oh, sure.
You know?
Well,
and so that means an awful lot. Not that the fans voting doesn't matter. I don't mean to say that. But when you're being judged by your fellow artists, the pressure is on.